Hello and welcome to my F1 24 driver career mode here today for part 26 for the Belgium Grand Prix for the final round before the summer break. There is rain expected for the race, so this is a very critical qualifying session. As we come onto our first run then into the chicane, and we're completely blocked by Carlos Sainz in the Mercedes, so they've had to back off and bail out of that lap, which is very annoying. He just parted it in the middle, and then this is George Russell and the other Mercedes that we let through, and now on the same lap our DRS has broken, and that is the worst possible scenario. Not only have we got to bail out the lap, we've got to do a qualifying lap with no DRS all the way down through our room, down the Kemmel Straight. That lap though that we did was good enough to P13. The DRS is still broken, but our last run in qualifying was completely mistimed, so we only got one lap in. Let's go to the reigning Belgian Grand Prix.
The Belgian Grand Prix, a race the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019 Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since a certain Michael Schumacher in 1992. One of the circuits that makes Formula One, Formula One. Welcome to the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa in the rain. It's about the only thing that could make it more challenging and dramatic in this part of the world. We have plenty of heavy braking zones, we have fast corners, we have undulation. It's going to be a challenge at Les Combes, the bus stop chicane, but pretty much everywhere you look out on track. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, just edging out Alex Albon, who will start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Norris, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Perez, Stroll, Ocon, Brown, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Joe, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Bottas and Logan Sargeant. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Here we go then, the formation lap is underway. There are wet conditions here today. Each driver will no doubt be mindful of the wet surface as they prepare to race around the track. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one. It will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
So here we go then, the 5 red lights come on, the rain is meant to stop, and it's lights out and away we go for the Belgian Grand Prix, and everyone's crawling off the line on the 4 wet tyres. We're going to go to the inside of the Aston Martin and just lunge it into La Source. We're on the inside of the Ferrari as we've been trying to find a grip down into our Rouge now. We're side by side with the Aston Martin. Who's going to give up, because we're not? And the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso has had a big moment at the top of Radion, and now Fernando Alonso is in the tyre tracks getting closer. He's not actually, we're pulling away. Look at our straight line speed as we send it late down the inside of the Mercedes of George Russell. We're sideways trying to find some grip, we've run a bit wide, and now Fernando Alonso, he's got a good view as we push George wide, and Fernando Alonso in contact between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin. George Russell now tries to keep it pinned around the outside. Alonso though not giving up. Down the inside goes George, who can get the traction out of no-name corner. They're still both side by side. They've pulled away a little bit. Now for Blanchimon. and Alonso has just got his Aston Martin ahead. Now they're on lap 2, heading down the Kemmel Straight. Fernando Alonso's got the straight line speed on this lap. No DRS of course in these conditions, as we push him wide, make him back out, and we keep P5 for now. P13 to P5 at the start isn't bad at all, as now Alonso's going to the inside of us. He backs out of it though. But we then going into a corner, but we found wide. Antonelli needs had a look to the outside, but we've got him behind once again now. Now into Belgium, and we haven't got the best of exits. Is he going to go to the inside? No, he's not. He's too far back, but we've ran wide. Now Fernando Alonso's got a great run. He's got his nose ahead into the chicane. His job done. We're going to send it back down the inside, but we're too far back. And now George Russell might have us round the outside. There's nearly contact, I think, there. But George has got us. Try to keep him behind by defending round the outside, but both of them have got us. And on the end of lap 2, this is the Red Bull of Sergio Perez boxing for the intermediate tyres. Has he got it bang on? It's slow on the rear left. This is lap 3 without Max Verstappen. Is he going to follow his teammate into the pits? No, he's not. Max thinking it's not time. Alex Albon, starting second, is still there at the start. But all of these are all staying out on the full wet tyres. But I think Perez has got the right decision here. The rain is so much lighter than it was on the opening lap. It is stopping. It's meant to stop completely come the end of the race. We're followed in by the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton. So we're going to go on to the Inters as well. I agree with Perez. I think that's a good call, but it's slow on the right front, and we've been beaten out by the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton. And our battle from Silverstone, it looks like it's going to continue here today in a wet Spa. As now at the end of lap 4, Max Verstappen boxes for Inters, but Alex Albon is going to take the lead at the Grand Prix because those are still staying out on the wet tyres. Maybe they think they can get the wet tyres to the dry point and completely miss out a pit stop by pitting for intermediates, but that's a strategy that may work in Monaco, but not like a track like this in Spa. Easy to overtake on, and he's going to come out just behind Yuki Tsunoda, as this is Pierre Gasly. It's all going on in this lap. Pulls over to retire from the Belgium Grand Prix. That engine has gone. The rain still coming down, but it is stopping more and more, and into the pits from second comes Charles Leclerc. How come Ferrari have left it so long? No one really knows what the strategy is here. The Inters are quick, but they're not split compared to the full wet tyres. Have still got some good pace, as it's very, very slow for Charles Leclerc on the rear right tyre there. Ferrari having a typical bad pit stop as he trundles down the pit lane. But now, where is he going to come out to us and his teammate Lewis Hamilton? Through there goes Sergio Perez, and he's come out in front of us and Lewis Hamilton as well. So maybe we've gone too early on the Inters, as Max Verstappen is spun round at the bus stop chicane, and now he's watching everyone go through. If there's anyone that could make a mistake in the wet, it wouldn't be Max Verstappen. This could be a big swing in the championship fight as well, as he trundles all the way to stone dead last in this Grand Prix. Max Verstappen's got a lot of work to do on those Inters now. So we come on to the end of lap 8. We're nearly at half distance and the rain has stopped. We're going to send it down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda. We have a heated rivalry with him, as Perez and both Ferraris are in. Ferrari have done a Ferrari strategy here. They're going to completely ruin Lewis Hamilton's Grand Prix, as on to the hard tyres goes Sergio Perez, and now there's a traffic jam and a queue at Ferrari, as Charles Leclerc goes. There's Lewis Hamilton now. So our battle with Lewis Hamilton, surely we've beaten him out by a mile. It's also slow on the rear right for him. Into the pits comes Max Verstappen as well. Everyone's boxing now. We're being held up by Joe, who stayed out on the wets. The Inters are the way to go now, but ultimately it is the dries. As now we're going to send it late up the inside of Joe, force him the long way round, get the job done. We've lost a lot of time on this lap by staying out an extra lap. We are going to be boxing at the end of this lap before some dry tyres. As now we come into the bus stop chicane. We've nearly dropped it a little bit there as we're followed in by Joe and Yuki Tsunoda, but the main thing is now, where do we come out relative to the Ferraris? We've got a purple sector 1. As now we trundle down the pit lane for our second stop of the day. Onto the hard tyres we will go, and we've really been caught up by Albon his box. And actually,
perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like
we
a
trundle
nice stop
down the
sign.
pit lane, we've only just beaten out Yuki Tsunoda there. Where did we come out relative to those behind? There's a HAAS and there is multiple cars. We've beat him out. We've beaten Lewis Hamilton out by a mile. He's had an awful race. This though is Alex Albon leading the Grand Prix from Lando Norris. These all stayed out. They didn't box for intermediates. They kept those wet tyres on till the rain stopped. And Alex Albon has a realistic chance of winning this Belgian Grand Prix. His first win in Formula 1 and our second as a team. And our second podium as a team as well. Minimum, surely. But it's been a slow start for us. Lando Norris, who really needs this win after being denied on the final lap at Silverstone by Max Verstappen, if this is going to be a title fight in 2025. Can Albon retake the lead, or the net lead of the Grand Prix? He's getting closer and closer to the back of that McLaren. DRS now is available. He's getting closer and closer. We should have the straight line speed. Just he pulls to the outside of Lando Norris. He's just a little bit too far back to get the job done on the McLaren. As now Oscar Piastri pits. No one is all over the place with the stops here. It's not like everyone's pitting on the same lap. As behind that is Carlos Sainz. As now we're slowly catching this battle behind. We pulled away from Tsunoda, and now this battle of Stroll, Perez and Charles Leclerc. Down the inside goes Perez on Lance Stroll. Round the outside, Perez gets the job done. Pitting early on the Inters, it hasn't really worked out for Perez. As we skip on now to lap 13, and we are catching big time. We've pulled away from Yuki Tsunoda. We've got some great pace on these hard tyres. Lance Stroll has dropped back in this battle between Perez and Leclerc. Leclerc now is up the inside and he's passed Sergio Perez for P7 in the race. And it's job done for the Ferrari. It's now lap 15. We have caught the back pretty much of Lance Stroll. We're getting closer and closer to him. We're going to have a go into the bus stop chicane. Are we going to go left? Are we going to go right? We're going to go to the outside of Lance Stroll and go all the way around the outside of Lance Stroll. It's a great move on the Canadian. Now, can we get down the road? Can we catch Leclerc and Perez and finish P6 in this Grand Prix? Lap 20 though, we've caught the back of Perez. We're a little bit too far back to get him into that chicane. We're going to have to get creative now. If we can catch Leclerc, we need to overtake Perez on this lap, really. As we're going to try and go around the outside of that corner, too far back, into no name. Perez putting his car on all the right parts of the racetrack. But we're going to have a go now. Are we close enough to go into P1? Yes, we are. Down the inside, we're past Sergio Perez and his Red Bull. Now 2 laps to go, 2.5 laps to go pretty much, and can we get Leclerc? As Lando Norris, he fended off Albon at the start of the final stint, and Lando has cut the championship down big time. He wins the Belgium Grand Prix, redemption from Silverstone, and Alex Albon, our teammate in the Williams, gets on the podium as well. P2 is going to be P3 for George Russell, and now this is Leclerc all over the back of Alonso, can't find a way through. A couple more laps, maybe we could have got Leclerc, but after a dramatic Belgian Grand Prix, we're going to come home for P8.
Lando Norris has done it! Lando Norris takes the checkered flag!
It was a joy to watch today, honestly, because the driver was clearly able to read the conditions well on track, to use the information properly from the team, and usually come up with the right solution at the right time.
As the winners make their way up to the podium, one can only imagine the celebrations that will take place at McLaren tonight. Congratulations to everyone on the team, securing the win and proving they're a force to be reckoned with out on the track.
So that's been your Belgium Grand Prix for 2025. The wet races are always the best races. No one really knew in that race what the strategy was. It does seem staying out on the wets were the way to go. But Lando Norris is your race winner from Alex Albon. His first podium for Williams, our second podium of the season after our podium in Jeddah. That seems like a long time ago now. George Russell P3. We finished down in P8. We could have maybe got Leclerc if there was a couple more laps to go in this Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton only recovered to P14 after Ferrari massively bottled his chances. And the big talking point though, Max Verstappen bottling it, leading the race, obviously pitted for inters which weren't the way to go in the end, and then spinning at the bus stop chicane all on his own. That's something Max Verstappen doesn't do. He's normally great in the wet, but it's a poor day for Max and he doesn't score any points. And then down at the back, Logan Sargeant was bottom of the finishers in P18, and then Daniel Ricciardo retired on the final lap, and then Pierre Gasly retired as well. So I said it was a big swing in the Drivers' Championship, and it is because Lando Norris has cut the gap down to just one single point this season, and it's hotting up going into the second half of the season. That's only though the second time this season that Lando has actually finished ahead of Max Verstappen. The other one coming in Canada when Max didn't finish. So poor day for Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc is P3. Albon now actually jumps us in the championship after his podium today, and we're both in front of Lewis Hamilton, who's having a pretty shocking season in his first season with Ferrari. When you compare to where the two Mercedes are, maybe moving teams to Ferrari wasn't the best decision. At the bottom then, there's still quite a few drivers still yet to score, so big movement then in the constructors as McLaren jump Red Bull after Red Bull's poor day. The gap now of 30 points between McLaren and Red Bull. Ferrari are 90 points back in P3, and then Mercedes are 2 points back. We're not really bothered about them. We know we haven't got the car to fight them, so we are focusing on beating Aston Martin this season, and we are 31 points ahead of them so far. But on the day, Aston Martin are very dangerous, and then still two teams still yet to score, that being Sauber and HAAS. So that's been your Belgium Grand Prix then. What a race it was. Spicy race. Rain always makes it interesting. We'll be back after the summer break where we head to Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix. Goodbye.